Who's the fella that owns this shithole?
Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cry. Don't give me rye whiskey, I surely will die.
Sure picked yourself a swan song.
Rye whiskey, rye whiskey, rye whiskey, I cried. If the ocean was whiskey and I was a duck, I'd dive to the bottom and never come up.
Go!
Howdy, old-timers. Welcome to Tales from the Video Store with Doug Wall, Lee Bridges, and Garrick Lane. Thanks for listening. Sponsored by Golden Ticket Cinemas and the Mad Tea Party Productions. Welcome to Tales from the Video Store. We're out here at the Lane Ranch doing a podcast today in Scottsdale, Arizona. We could turn the air conditioning off, Doug, but we're all going to burn up. Wait a minute, there wasn't any air conditioning in the West. Maybe that's why everybody killed everybody. Maybe. How we doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good. Now, in the West, they didn't have TVs or DVDs or anything like that, so...
And that's why it sucked. I was talking to a guy I work with once. We were talking about the movie Tombstone.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I would love to live back then. I said, nah, man, I'll stick with antibiotics and air conditioning.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck that noise.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen
and
to
personal hygiene.
I could do 1 week. If Doc would show up in the DeLorean and take me for 1 week back, I'd like to just see how it was.
Here's why I wouldn't.
I'd be dead in 2 minutes.
Here's why I wouldn't. Because think about it. Milk pasteurization, all that stuff. As soon as you consume something, you would have endless diarrhea.
No matter what it was.
No matter what it was.
The water.
The water.
Yeah.
You would
all
just,
of it.
Yep.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to live back. Your body wouldn't be able to live back then.
You would literally shit yourself to death.
I guess we'd just have to drink liquor.
Yeah.
God, I bet the liquor would kill us. I bet it's so strong it'd kill us.
I don't know about that, but it would be rough. It'd be a rough week.
It would be a definite rough week. It'd be a worse week.
Yeah.
I did 3 weeks in Africa, and it would probably be worse than that.
I would guarantee it would be.
Well, never mind then. Okay, so forget it. So I'll just stick to my antibiotics and air conditioning and my movies this week. Oh, did we watch anything, or were we too busy rewinding videotapes and
I did watch a couple
cleaning
things.
tiles?
A couple things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You went to see Violent Films last night.
Violent Films, yes I did.
How was it?
Oh, it was great, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They still got it?
Yes, for sure.
They got to be 70 years old.
Probably early 60s.
And they're still jamming.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was cool.
A new Tool album came out, too. And
Yes,
speaking
it did.
of old stuff that's...
Speaking of stuff that 40-year-olds are into,
Yeah.
the Tool album came out.
After 13 years, we finally got to listen. Yeah. My wife and I are sitting at the kitchen table like crackheads, listening to the speaker going, this is good. This is good. I like it. It's the one thing my wife and I have in common is we actually both like Tool.
Really?
Yeah, she loves Tool. How
That's
about that?
fucking shocking.
Well, she married you.
Yeah. Oh!
There we go.
Wow.
Fantastic. All right, get on with it. Fuck this. Why is it always... It always ends up into like a pick on Garrick day.
No.
It
really does.
No.
Just, you know what? It's fun.
It is fun.
All
right. First movie I watched is one that we'd mentioned a few months back. I don't remember what the original discussion was, but I found Shakes the Clown, the 1992 Bobcat Goldthwait classic that he wrote and directed.
Classic.
I had not seen it probably since about that time.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. It's about some clowns that live in this town. They all kind of hang out together at this bar called the Twisted Balloon. And Bobcat's character is, they all drink. They're all kind of hard-living clowns, if you will. And he drinks a little bit more than everybody else does and kind of gets himself into some trouble. The cast is fucking great, man. Julie Brown, young as hell, Adam Sandler, Tom Kenny, LaWanda Page, who was Aunt Esther from Sanford & Son is in it. She has one of the funnier lines in the movie. She compares herself to peanut butter because she's brown, smooth, and easy to spread, which I liked. I thought that was pretty cute. And Florence Henderson is in it for a minute, which was really fucking weird. I forgot that she was in it. Florence Henderson, of course, is the mom from the Brady Bunch. And the late, great Robin Williams was in it. And I got to say this about his time. I was not prepared to see him. And I don't know why it is, but I still have a hard time watching anything with him in it.
Yeah.
You know, because of his untimely suicide. I just, for whatever reason, it just bothered the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Like, I got emotional seeing him. I was like, God, fuck.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched.
I can't think of anything that I've watched with him in
It's
it.
been 5 years.
Because he's dead.
I know. I mean, like rewatched. I mean,
I
I'm trying to think. When was the last time I watched a
movie?
movie that he was in? I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. He plays a mom instructor named Jerry in this, and he is just, it's classic Robin Williams. You know, he's not in it a lot,
Right.
but he is just fantastic. They hate moms. They have, like, clown and mom fights, and there's, like, rodeo clowns that are kind of like the badasses of the clown world.
Well, my favorite line in the movie is when Bobcat Goldthwait's he's hiding, so he dresses up like a mom, and he and Ron Williams is like putting him in the suit and everything. He just goes, "I want to kick my own ass."
Yeah. Yeah, it's an odd movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's one that could be remade.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I would definitely want Bobcat attached to it if it ever was. But I really enjoyed it, man. It was a cool ass flick.
So it's the dry heaves at the beginning, isn't that where we got that from high school? The dry heave, doesn't he? I don't remember the movie, but doesn't he drink like a used beer or something? And he's like, doesn't he? And he wakes up hungover.
Well,
and
that's why they call him Shakes, because he has the DTs.
Right,
all the time.
The opening scene, he wakes up and
He
he
wakes
throws
up on
up.
the bathroom. He's on the bathroom floor, and this kid steps over him and starts pissing in the toilet. And it wakes Bobcat up, and he jerks his head up and gets pissed right in the face. He's at Florence Henderson's house, as like the girl he picked up at the bar last night.
Yeah.
You know, mommy's new boyfriend, I think she said. But yeah, man, if you've never seen it, it's a classic, man. It's funny as hell. It's great. And then to get back into some Western items, I wanted to watch something with Lee Van Cleef in it. And I went with something a little bit more popular than I probably wanted to. And it'd been some years since I'd seen it, so I watched For a Few Dollars More. The classic Sergio Leone.
How funny. I watched it too.
1965, Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef. Man, it's fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's good.
It's so fucking
As much
good.
as I know that The Good Man is just like a masterpiece,
Right.
A Few Dollars More is my favorite.
I think it's my favorite. That's the
probably
one
my
that your
favorite,
Jimbo's based on.
No, your was based on
Fistful of Dollars.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. But this one's, they're bounty hunters, and they're after this same bad guy, El Indio, who leads this kind of gang of, I guess they're bank robbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just got some cool ass fucking scenes, man. Like the hat shooting scene is just amazing, and the way it sounds, like the sound effects, is fucking great, dude.
Yeah, Sergio was a master.
And like a lot of his movies, it has an odd flow, but that's just how they did it, and I'm fine with it. It doesn't take away from the movie for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just the whole story, man, is cool as shit.
The only thing is when India smokes the joint, and he immediately passes out and everything turns red. You can tell that's a bunch of middle-aged Italian guys who had no idea what weed was.
Yeah, they're like, it's gonna take them down. Yeah.
But I think Colonel Mortimer is probably the coolest character Leone ever created.
Yes.
I mean, he's in that introduction where he has the rifles rolled up with a piece of leather on the side, and he just lets it down. It's almost like a James Bond weapons,
Oh yeah, he's got all the tools.
He's got all, and it's one of the coolest character introductions ever.
Using the acid to get into these locks.
Yeah.
Just everything that he did was just smooth as hell.
Yeah.
Monco, I guess is
and Valente,
young ass Eastwood. And he's fine in it, but to me, he's not. It's one of those, like, who's the star of the movie? I mean, I guess he is, kind of, but for me, Van Cleef was the man in that movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
More so than Eastwood.
It's kind of like good, the bad, the ugly. Is that Clint Eastwood's? Because Eli
Wallach is the star of
is
Good,
the
Bad,
star of the good, bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
So it's what those spaghetti westerns or the Ennio the Sergio, the scores, the Ennio Morricone scores, are a performance in themselves.
Yep.
And then even the opening credits are animations, and they're like a little movie in themselves. Like, it's everything about it is just.
Well, you talk about the sound effects. He always said that he for the pistol sounds, it was a rifle sound effect. And for the rifles, it was a cannon. And if we had a cannon, it was like 5 sticks of dynamite.
Yeah.
He wanted everything to be bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, it shows.
Yeah, and he's like, because he always said, because people would ask him about, Clint's popularity versus John Wayne's. And Sergio said, I wasn't competing with John Wayne. I was competing with James Bond.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a Western for young people. He's like, I want to make it for like 60-year-old dudes.
Right.
And it's an extremely cool movie.
It's just cool as shit,
Yeah.
man. I'm so glad that I watched it. I got like 50 minutes in. I was like, maybe I should do something else because I'd seen it, but
right.
I'm glad I revisited it because it's amazing.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And on that, I'm going to say this: I hate the fucking term spaghetti western.
What's that?
It sounds demeaning to me, and I know it's not intentional, but it sounds like it's like a goofy western.
Yeah, well,
to me, these are some of the best westerns ever produced in the history of cinema.
Yeah,
and I just don't like that fucking.
I understand what you mean. It's like I hate when people refer to martial arts movies as chop socky movies.
Yeah, same thing.
It annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's like they're talking down about it. Mm-hmm. I completely understand what you mean.
Yeah, these movies deserve the utmost respect.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, but that's what I watched.
Yeah. What about you, Garrick?
Well, I watched for a few dollars more.
Okay.
So I also watched Fistful of Dollars, which is based on Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo. It was fantastic. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but it has Clint Eastwood in it.
The Man with No Name.
The Man with No Name. Yep.
But he does have.
He has a name in every movie, but whatever.
Yeah, I never understood that moniker that he gets. But whatever.
Yeah. Okay. It's like
Sorry once again.
No, it's fine. It's fine. And then I watched a film called Blood Money.
Really?
Yes.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, it's Lee Van Cleef and I just lost his name.
Lole.
Yep. And they're chasing chicks' asses.
If you like the movie Shanghai Noon with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson, and you ever thought to yourself, this would be better without jokes, it's exactly that movie. There's no way the makers of Shanghai Noon haven't seen this movie. It's impossible.
I was getting right. That's funny.
Yeah.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, I have a feeling that Shanghai Noon was completely stolen from this film.
Yeah. And like like then when that was probably written 20 years ago, you could maybe find it on VHS, in like a flea market or something. Yeah. I mean, so really there was nothing to stop them from ripping it off because it's the same movie.
Yeah,
like it has the exact same plot. Even the bad guy in Shanghai Noon the character's name is Van Cleef, and he looks just like Lee Van Cleef. So it's I mean they just took the movie.
Huh. They just stole the movie. Yeah.
Right.
That's how they do it.
Well, that was it. I had all this really cool, brilliant stuff, and Lee just opened his mouth and took it all from me because I was going to say all that. I was going to say, well, you've seen Shanghai Noon, you've seen this movie, and by the way, the bad guy in Shanghai Noon his name is Van Cleef, and he looks like Van Cleef, and so they basically just plagiarized Jackie Chan.
I stole it from you like they stole it from this movie.
That's exactly right. I'm just going to shut up. That's it. That's all I saw. I saw a bunch of. I saw a bunch of spaghetti westerns, but I can get into my spaghetti western stuff when we talk about today's movie. So go ahead. What did you watch?
I watched a movie from 1976 called The Devil's Express.
Oh yes, great. Let me talk about that.
Okay.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to say you watched.
That'd be hilarious.
That would have been great.
That would have worked out real nicely.
And the only way I can explain it is it's a 70s martial arts blaxploitation monster movie, and it's And like this guy, he's like a martial arts teacher in the Bronx in like '76, and he goes to Hong Kong to basically sort of receive, like, you know, to sort of show off his skills to these Chinese masters and sort of receive their validation. Mm-hmm. And while him and his buddy are there, his buddy, like, he's like, you know, doing this sort of martial arts test, and his buddy just kind of walks through the woods and is, you know, hanging out and goes in, and like hundreds of years before, they had captured this monster and put it in this crate and put this sort of medallion on it to keep it in the box. And his buddy just goes, takes the medallion, and of course this monster then follows them back to New York by getting on the same boat they're on, and then lives in the sewers, just killing like sort of criminals until the martial arts master has to fight the monster at the end in the subways of New York.
Nice.
And the actor
Where did you find this?
It's on Prime.
Is it really?
The actor who plays the martial arts master has the world's coolest name of any actor. His name is Warhawk Tanzana.
Oh, yeah.
And he looks exactly like a guy named Warhawk Tanzana would look. At the end of the fight, he wears complete bright yellow overalls, no shirt. You know, because it was the 70s.
Yeah.
And like the movie is like a lot of spaghetti westerns. If you take the individual parts, the performances, the acting, the camera, it's not that great.
Right.
But you put them all together,
It works.
It works.
Yeah.
And it has one of the most original kills I've ever seen in a monster movie. The monster grabs the back of a guy's head and shoves it into a junction box and just melts the guy's face. Yeah, and very low budget movie, but you know, it was 85 minutes. It entertained the hell out of me. And the only thing I've been that
Devil's Express.
the Devil's, also known as Gang Wars, but it's on Prime as the Devil's Express. And the only other thing I watched, I finished watching that show I talked about last week, Lodge 49, and it takes me forever to finish a show. Like, I've not started Stranger Things season 3. I've not started. Like, I'm 2 seasons behind on Narcos, and I love that show. I see something shiny and I forget about a show.
Yeah.
You know, but I knocked this out in a week, and it's just like Kurt Russell's son's the star. You know, Bruce Campbell has a small role in it.
Nice.
It's just, and it's like, I've compared it to Twin Peaks when I talked to about people I think it did, but it's really not like that. It's just there's like a sweet magicalness to it, and it, like I said, as much weird violent crap as I watch, it is the opposite of that. It's just such a good show, and I would actually like pay to see the second season. And most TV shows I can give two cents about. But yeah, I really enjoyed the hell out of it.
Huh.
Yeah, and it's like they're in this sort of Mason-like organization, and then slowly, as you find out, like all the sort of legends, you find out that it's all true. You know, they're sort of alchemy-based bullshit that they.
Right.
Yeah, and like Kurt Russell's son White is amazing as the sort of stoner surfer main character.
Nice.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the hell out of it.
So how do you flee? How do you find the what did you search to find Devil's Express, and what did you search to find? Spoiler: Blood Money. Since
Right.
we've already had this conversation.
Right.
What do you
Blood
do?
Money I have on DVD.
Oh, okay.
But I think I just saw the trailer for it years and years ago. But the Devil's Express is just basically you find a cool looking movie on Amazon Prime, and you go up the top and you put customers also watched, and you click on that, and it will just you just go till you find another cool movie. If you don't want to watch it, you just go up again. Customers also watch. You can do it on Prime. You can do it forever.
Yeah.
Because Prime has so much. Now you can also do it to where you're just looking at just stuff you know I wouldn't watch if my eyes were on fire and the only thing I could put them out was watching something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch one of these things.
Oh, I've seen plenty of them.
Oh, yeah.
On there. Yeah.
But Prime is like the modern day video store.
Closest thing.
The closest thing, because there's, like I said, you can find something like The Devil's Express. You can find spaghetti westerns. You can find Hong Kong flicks. You know, any type of movie, you can find it on there. You know, for what, $12 a month?
You can't beat that. You got to spend $4 at the
exactly Redbox.
Even 99¢. Redbox is 99¢.
Yeah, I mean, you do that a few times a month, and you forget to bring it back. You know, you're past the Prime membership.
Yep.
Yeah, Prime. I watch more movies on Prime than I like. I'm at the point now where I might just cancel my Netflix membership.
I'm kind of over it too.
Yeah, because it's
Mine
like
too.
they don't, you know.
It's all original now. Netflix is all mainstream and original content.
I will say this about Netflix, and I did watch this, and I forgot to talk about it.
Right.
The extended.
That's how good it was.
No, it is fucking good. The extended Hateful Eight is fucking awesome. Dude.
Right.
And I love how he does it because it's like an hour-long episode, and then you can just stop there if you want, whatever. But the added content is prevalent. Like it's not just like one or two things here. Like it's different.
Yeah.
I highly suggest you check it out.
Yeah.
How much longer is it?
Well, it's 4 parts and they're an hour long, so it's like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like I say, like watching a 3.5 hour movie, if you pause it or stop
you lose the flow of it.
You lose exactly. But in this, the way that it's done and it's an episode and it stops, it's perfect.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Have you watched it yet?
I watched about half of it.
Have you?
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I love the first one. I love the first one. The original.
Yeah.
The theatrical cut. Whatever you want to say. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Me too. It's probably my favorite.
And I went and saw it in 70mm in Charlotte and yelled at the old guy handing out the booklets when he didn't give me one.
Yeah.
I didn't yell at him. I was like, hey, man.
Come on.
Then I was like, oh, wait, he's 70 years old. He doesn't give a shit. he's trying to get away from his wife.
Yeah. But it's killer, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, if it's one of those where you don't want to sit through a 3.5 hour movie, but you want to watch that movie, it's perfectly done.
You do it every week.
And I expect that this is going to be more prevalent with Tarantino's work. I've kind of heard him kind of talk about it.
Yeah, he's already talking about doing it for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, which if he does, it'll just be even better.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of extra content, go to our Patreon page. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood podcast is up, and if you are a Patreon, you can listen
on
to
the way
it.
to hear it.
It's good stuff.
Yep.
It's the new post. I just posted it up today. Speaking of, we need to get some more stuff going, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to get some more Patreon extra content, bonus content for everybody out there. Just go sign up. Help us out, man. Help us.
It's $3 a month.
$3 a month.
Yeah.
Less than Prime.
Yeah.
Just cancel your Netflix account.
And give it to us.
And we will give you...
Or just dig around in your account. You'll find $3 worth of change.
How about Tree Fitty in there?
Yeah, Tree Fitty.
Yeah, $3. $3.50. So...
Nice plug, Garrick.
Yeah, nice. You like that?
I did. That was very smooth.
That was very smooth. Well, he started talking about extra Quentin Tarantino. We've got extra Quentin Tarantino.
That we do.
That's right. That movie, I'm still thinking about that movie. I love it. I bought the soundtrack and I'm jamming it. Like, I love it.
Nice.
It's great.
Every once in a while, I just think of a scene and just smile.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm like, damn, I can't wait to see that again.
Yeah, I really can't wait to see it again. Speaking of Quentin Tarantino, the movie this week, The Grand Duel, actually, Quentin Tarantino sampled the soundtrack in the Kill Bill, in the first Kill Bill.
Yeah, in the animated sequence.
How about that?
The Renishi
that's right.
Sequences, yeah.
The Grand Duel. Who wants to intro it?
I'll do it. It's from 1972. It's called The Grand Duel, also known as Storm Rider, and The Big Showdown. Mm-hmm. But mostly known as The Grand Duel. And it is... We were talking about the Colonel Mortimer character from...
For a few dollars more.
For a few dollars more. This is as close as you're going to get to a solo movie. Because the characters are very similar. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of an odd story for a spaghetti western, because most of the time it's a cop hunting down an outlaw. This is a cop helping out an outlaw because he knows he's been wrongly convicted of murder.
Yeah.
And he just lives in this town that is run by this super rich but super weird family of brothers.
God, they're so weird.
They're so weird.
Definitely
and
weird.
Each one is weirder than the last. But they control all the business in the town. Like the one brother's the marshal. One brother owns all the business. One brother's just sort of an effeminate murderer, and who has some sort of disease.
Yeah.
And
Weird. Scabies.
yeah,
He's got something.
He's got something.
Yeah.
Because they call it pox face in it. Yeah. But it's a super cool movie. It really is, and it's just if you're not a big spaghetti western fan, I would suggest this because it's not even like other westerns really. It's a very original movie.
I think it's my favorite spaghetti western.
Yeah.
It may rival Good, the Bad, the Ugly for me. I don't know why.
Because it's cool. Everything about it's cool.
It's so fucking well done, dude.
Yeah.
It is.
And, Van Cleef, man, is just perfect in it. And I guess if you love these movies, then you know who I'm talking about, Lee Van Cleef. But if you're not into the spaghetti westerns, or that's kind of not your thing, he may be a kind of a forgotten American actor who was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, he's not really talked about enough,
Right.
in my estimation. He was in World War II. He was in the Navy.
Yeah.
He was in over 90 movies, like 109 TV appearances. I mean, the guy was around from the, I guess, late 50s to mid 80s.
I'd say before that, probably early 50s, because he was in a lot of Roger Corman like monster movies.
Yeah,
in the
there you
50s.
go.
And because he had like a whole career before he became a movie star.
Yeah, well, what I read is he was actually about to quit
Yeah.
acting, and when he got some role, I don't
Yeah.
remember. Maybe it was The Grand Duel, maybe it was something before.
For a few dollars more.
Yeah, that's the one with Clint that kept him wanting to do this, and he just has a look.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes. You know, certain actors just have like a look like Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Like you can see this much of his face, just his eyes, and you know exactly who it is.
Right.
That's Lee Van Cleef
Yep.
for me.
Yep, they called him the man with the gun-side eyes in Italy.
Yeah, man, killer movie.
Yeah.
It's, you know, not only the music, like Garrick alluded to, being a kind of a Kill Bill kind of, or I don't want to say just Kill Bill. Like I saw other Tarantino thievery.
Oh yeah.
In this movie as well.
The black and white, the flashbacks.
When the flashbacks, dude, they were so fucking well done. They looked so good, man. And it's another one of these old westerns that is structured like an old kung fu or an old samurai movie. They're exactly the same.
And the action in this is very Hong Kong-like.
Yes.
Like when he does the flip.
He does the flip on the wagon.
That's straight out of
I was
Hong
like,
Kong.
whoa, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he jumps. He puts the guy on the wagon, and he jumps the wagon and springboards up.
It seems like something out of a 70s kung fu flick. It really does.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love this movie.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
It really is. And it's weird because today he would be the grumpy dad on a sitcom.
Yeah.
Like he would not be a movie star. But now he just, because they don't. I mean, look at any old actor like that. Now they just be, I don't know.
Well, like we were talking about with Ed Harris.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
he looks like he's made of granite.
He looks like he's grizzled, and that's why he's so perfect in these roles that we've seen him in. And Van Cleef, for what I've seen, and I'm certain I haven't seen everything he's been in, but I've seen enough.
Yeah.
It's just his look.
Yeah.
Makes it.
Mm-hmm.
He's intimidating when you see him on screen.
Right.
Immediately. It doesn't matter what his character. You don't need a background.
No.
You immediately look and you're like, that guy's a bad motherfucker.
Exactly.
We need to.
The mustache,
all of it.
The look, yeah. And he kind of had that look from A Few Dollars More in every movie. The black coat, the hat, that was sort of his signature look.
Yeah.
And really, as much as people talk about Clint Eastwood in the Spaghetti Western, he was only in 3.
Yeah.
And granted, he was in the 3 best ones probably ever.
Right.
And with the possible exception of Once Upon a Time in the West.
Right.
Leone's movie he made after that. But Lee Van Cleef he's kind of the actor that is most associated with
and he should be.
With the Spaghetti Western, because he was in tons of them.
Yeah.
And it was directed by a guy named Giancarlo Santini, who was Leone's
assistant director.
Yeah. And the last Western Leone directed, Fistful of Dynamite, Peter Bogdanovich was going to direct it, and then he quit because he realized Leone was basically using him as a puppet to direct it, without having to do any actual work. And so he tried to say, "Well, I have my boy Giancarlo direct it." And I guess Paramount wasn't like, "You just can't replace Peter Bogdanovich with some random Italian dude,
right?"
Who they don't know. And so he eventually ends up directing this. This was the first movie he directed.
Oh, dude, and
he knocks it out of the park.
He learned.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can see Leone's thumbprint on this movie, but it's wholly original. And the story, like you say, it's not like your average spaghetti western. It's completely different. It's intricate, and man, I loved it.
I did too.
I really enjoyed it.
And it's streaming on Prime. If you have a Prime, no, it's not on Prime. Was it on Prime? Oh, it is. Okay, it's streaming on Prime. It's also on several free streaming sites like Tubi and other things. So it's available to see.
Yep.
And it's just, it is, like Garrick said, in a lot of ways it's a quintessential spaghetti western.
Yes.
Like if you want to show someone a spaghetti western who's never seen one, this is the one.
It might. I'm not saying the story's better. It's not as good as For a Few Dollars More. But man, it's close.
Yeah.
It's real fucking close.
Yeah,
and if you like that, you'll love this. Yeah.
The screenwriter wrote 123 movies.
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, because that's and you know, in Italy it went in phases. You know, in the early '60s you had gladiator movies, then you had spaghetti westerns, then you had cop movies, then zombie movies. But in sort of the mid '80s, that sort of Spielberg and George Lucas making these bigger budget movies, they couldn't duplicate American movies anymore.
Right.
And they sort of just went from being, that just looks like a movie to, that looks like a cheap movie.
Yeah.
So, and for about 20 years, they had this whole, movie Xeroxing thing. Whatever was popular, they were going to duplicate it.
Right.
Do you know that from 1960 to 1978, 600 spaghetti westerns were produced?
Oh, yeah.
600.
Yep.
Dead by the mid 70s, it was dead.
Yeah, because like I said, that they just movies were dead horses, and they would just beat it until it stopped.
Beating the hell out of it.
But then again, a year after there would be another, then say 78, Dawn of the Dead comes out, and they were just like, that's what we're doing.
Well, Hollywood's the same way now,
right?
Besides with the exception of Spielberg, Tarantino, those guys who can do whatever they want.
Now Hollywood is just Italy in the 60s.
It really is.
Yeah.
Hollywood is Italy in the 60s.
But less cool.
Much less.
Yeah, because if there's a popular Chinese movie or Hong Kong movie, they just steal it and remake it.
Yeah.
Like they're rebranding. I think I saw they're rebranding the Grudge.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi, I think, is having a hand in it.
Yeah.
And just why?
Yeah.
I mean, I love the guy, but it's like, damn it.
The Italians have the common courtesy to steal, as opposed to...
Or just make a knockoff.
Just make a knockoff.
Yeah.
In some ways, knockoffs can be more entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Because it's you get like a badass version of something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you want there's some Italian cop movies made. There's one called Live Like a Cop, Die Like a Man. And literally the two cops are just murderers. At one time, they get a guy interrogate him, and they just snap the guy's neck at the end. It's like, these guys, what are they doing? It's just these two insane murderers who just happen to be police, and they're the good guys.
Killing for killing.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, to go back to the Grand Duel, it's and talk about the villain, the brother, the guy in white.
Yes,
is such a creepy villain.
So scary.
And the more I think about it, I don't know that he's necessarily gay. It's that he has that pox type disease, and no one wants to touch him. So when that old man, he shoots the old man at the end, and at the beginning, and the guy, his bloody hand, it's like he's touched by someone, because he's sort of the outcast of the family. And the thing he does, he argues with people until it basically forces them to draw him because he's so fast.
Yeah,
and he's a very, very well done creepy villain.
Yeah, super creepy villain.
Yeah, the character I would compare it to is Tote, the Nazi torturer in Raiders. The guy who ended up burns his hand. He's just got that sort of uneasiness to him.
Yeah, it makes you a little nauseous to see him.
Exactly, yeah. When all the close-ups of his face, you're like, oh, gosh. Yeah.
It's so funny because it seems like the one thing that all spaghetti westerns have is in that final scene, it's all the editing. It's the wide shot, and you see them come into frame, and they're standing there, and then it goes straight in from the wide to the eyes, and then it goes eyes, back out, and then hand, boom, and it's done. In every spaghetti western, it's done, and it does it. It's always good.
It's Leone and Fistful of Dollars set up a template.
Yeah,
and then, like we were talking about Hollywood, now it's the Avengers as the template, but the Avengers is so. I mean, I like those movies, but they're there's a homogenizedness to them.
Yeah.
Whereas these movies, talking about Blood Mate, that movie's directed by Antonio Margheriti. His movies are a little different than there's they're each one they're more specific. Even the main points are the same, like talking about the gunfight at the end, but everything else,
right?
The in between the points is what is just very original.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're original in their unoriginality, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I catch what you're saying.
Yep, it's great. So you must see it. It is a rent for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just recently put out on Blu-ray. I knew the one I have is a double 2 movies on one. There's a nice Blu-ray of it. They came out like a month ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
So definitely rent it. It's Grandeur or Il Grandeur.
Yeah.
The cat is out of the bag because during our text during the week, we found out that Blood Money that I watched this week is actually the Pick-a-Flick video.
That's right. My pick-a-flick this week is The Stranger and the Gunfighter, which is also known as Blood Money. So
how funny is that?
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It's a double recommendation. I'm going to recommend it again. It's directed by Antonio Margheriti, who is one of the directors of the fake DiCaprio movies at the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, directed probably 50 movies.
At least,
yeah. And just basically, it's Lee Van Cleef and Lola. It's the star of Fistful of Dollars and the star of Five Fingers to Death. Excuse me, for a few dollars more at Five Fingers to Death. It's basically, if you could homogenize early 70s pop culture, it would be this movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's a spaghetti western with kung fu in it, you know. And like we said earlier, it's just Shanghai Noon without jokes. And there's a plot, like they're looking for gold, and like there's a map, but the map is made up into like playing card symbols like spades and deuces, but they're all tattooed on prostitutes and saloons. The plot really doesn't matter. It's two awesome actors, you know. And Lele wasn't, like, you would think, because, I mean, Fistful of Dollars was the first Hong Kong movie released in America, before any Bruce Lee movie. And I guess he just wasn't interested in being a movie star. Because that was put out by Warner Bros., this was put out by Columbia. And then the next thing you know, he's like the bad guy in, like, you know, 36 Chambers Shouting. He's just, he went from being like he was a star for a few years, then he just went to being a character actor / director. Very quick, within like 3 years. So I guess he just wasn't into it, you know. Maybe he saw what happened to Bruce Lee, and he was like, "Oh no, thank you."
Yeah, I'm good.
And but yeah, he's always awesome. Van Cleef with a toupee, but still awesome.
In his older years.
Older, yeah, a little bit older. You know, this is 76, so you know this is about it's 4 years after the Grand Duel. But it's, I mean, you know, like it's a little more, it's a little sillier than the Grand Duel, but it's very entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
it's
know,
fantastic.
It's a spaghetti western with kung fu. I mean, what more do you want?
That sounds perfect.
Exactly.
And it's a much better Shanghai.
Yeah, I prefer it to Shanghai.
Absolutely.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
So there you go. It'll be on the website, and it's double recommended. It's double recommended
Yep.
for, because I think it might be one of the only pick-a-flick videos that I actually have seen of Lee's.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you found it on Amazon Prime.
I found it on Amazon Prime. Hey, Amazon Prime, man, become a Patreon because we are definitely talk you guys up.
Yeah.
For sure, we need them as a sponsor.
There you go.
So we got some news. Speaking of, we can't leave the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, it's everywhere. I mean, it's every day I pick up my phone, I see something else about it, either a positive article or a negative article. And we got to see Lena Dunham, Lena Dumpy Dunham,
Right.
try and plant a kiss on Brad Pitt at the red carpet in London, I believe.
In her defense, who can blame her?
Yeah.
But anyway.
I mean, I'd lay a kiss on Brad Pitt if I had a moment. I'd also hand my spec script to him. Here, man, read this.
Yeah, read this. I got something for you.
Since they're dead anyway.
You know, she was on the show Girls. She's supposed to be like a very pro woman, like very Me Too. One of the, I guess, the leaders of this.
Right.
And her actions speak otherwise.
Yeah.
And she's a fucking hypocrite. And I think she should be fucking burned for her actions. Because had any male actor done that to her, I can only imagine, you know, what kind of a rant she would have gone on about it.
Right.
You know, and I'm not saying that, you know, she should lose everything, because I don't feel like anybody should lose everything over one simple mistake. But fucking apologize for it already. You know, and just say, look, I made a bad choice. Leave it at that. You know, do what you have to do. It won't be the first time you fucking apologized for doing something wrong. You know, she's got a long history of this, actually. So
I really didn't know that much about her before you sent the the link to sort of our text chain, and because I'd never seen the show Girls, I'd never seen anything she did.
I hadn't either.
And I do, and then when I saw the picture, I did remember her as sort of the den mother of the Manson girls from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But having looked up, she's probably a garbage person.
Yeah, I think
You know, there are people who screw, like, I give you a Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant got caught with a hooker, cheated on his girlfriend. He just went on the Tonight Show, went, I fucked up. I'm sorry. And literally everybody just went, don't worry about it. And nobody has brought it up since then.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you would just come out and say, listen, I made a mistake. I think most people are pretty
And be honest about it.
Yeah, like he was. Yeah. He was like, yeah, I was locked in my hotel room. I'm famous. I wanted a blowjob.
Yeah.
You know, and I got caught.
Oh, my girl, and the only thing that anybody thought was stupid is because his girlfriend was Elizabeth Hurley. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
That's true, but you know, that's what happens when you don't hear the word no ever.
Yeah, that's true.
You start thinking you won't get. But like I said, he said, "Hey man, I fucked up," and everybody just went, "Forget about it."
Yeah,
you know, like but she seems like a person who would never do that unless it was a big like Twitter storm of people saying she should apologize.
Which,
yeah,
and I just,
which means it wouldn't be sincere.
Yeah,
like if she did, it would be completely insincere.
You see that a lot with, and I hate to interrupt you. You just see a lot with the athletes. The athletes make a mistake, and everybody, you know, the owner and everybody comes at them with their money and holds their money over their head and says, if you don't retort that, we're going to take this money away. And they only retort it because they got to have that money.
Well, you can look them in the eyes and tell if they actually feel bad about it or not.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know,
yeah.
And I just think it's a shitty fucking thing she did. I don't give a fuck if she thought it was funny or not. If I did that, I'd be in fucking jail or, you know, I'd be catching a charge.
Or you'd be Brad Pitt's boyfriend.
One of the two.
I mean, well, you know.
Read my script.
I got a cool story for you.
I got 5 fingers for your cock if you read my script.
God. Sound like you've issued that before. Once or twice.
More tales from Kevin Spacey's house.
Yeah.
I'll do what I gotta do. By God, I'm 45 and I'll get this freaking script written. So, of course, I don't know because other horrible news this week besides that piece of shit is the fact that LA Times did a write-up that, you know, the spec script is dead. And I don't know if anybody out there knows what a spec script is, but basically a spec
Explain it.
Basically a spec script is a original property from a nobody. Yeah. So if Garrick just finished his script called The Fateful Season, it's an original story, 120 pages. Hollywood is not buying them anymore. It doesn't matter. The only way that I would get it is if I gave Brad Pitt a hand job and he said, hey man, I'll read your script, and he liked it.
Right.
And then Brad Pitt goes to his agent and says, I want to do this or I want to produce this. That's the only way. Nobody's going to read your script and go, I want to produce this. I'm going to write you a check for $3 million to make this movie. That is dead and done. And that, to me, is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
It just shortens the resource pool. It's like, I don't need 15 people in Hollywood making everything.
Yeah.
Because it's all just going to piss me off eventually.
Right.
You know, kind of like the Avenger movies. It's like, enough.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same fucking thing, enough.
Yeah.
And if that's what they're trying to do to Hollywood and to movie making, then it's fucking terrible.
I heard Stephen King say something. I asked him about the movie Firestarter. He said it's like cafeteria mashed potatoes. It's food, but you won't remember eating it 2 minutes after you're done. It's kind of how I think of like most blockbusters. You know, it's food, but it's meaningless.
Right.
And yeah, like Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon. Okay, Fred Decker and Shane Black write the Monster Squad. All right, that gets made just from them writing it. Then that leads to Lethal Weapon getting made, which actually got shot first. But, you know, those two guys just happened to be roommates. And just happened to both be really good at writing.
Right.
And, you know, without that, you know, think about, like, all the, like, Shane Black movies. All the, you know, just, that would never exist.
The Last Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Long Kiss Goodnight. Some of that Rennie Harlan's last good movie.
Yeah, that's true. His best movie.
It's his best movie.
Yeah. Apparently, Gina Davis got the talent in the divorce. Because, he went right in the shitter after that one.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But that's and you said something before we went on air, or maybe Doug said it. You're taking away a whole a database of resources.
Yep.
If you're basically saying we will never give Garrick Lane a look at his script, whether it's good or bad,
Unless Kevin Spacey says.
unless Kevin Spacey says you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
And to me, what it is basically you greenlighting a superhero movie that's based on a property or a video game or whatever.
Right.
That if you're an executive at Universal, let's say, that you will not get fired for greenlighting that movie. Now, if you go spend $1 million or $500,000 on Garrick's script, and then it doesn't do well, then you bet on an unknown property. I think it's just fear of these guys wanting to keep their job more than anything. Because really, it's like
So let me
I would rather redo Hulk 16 times than to do this script about this guy,
which is amazing, by the way.
This drug dealer who dies in a fiery blaze. A crystal meth lab,
right,
and comes back as a crystal meth monster.
Right.
I mean, but serious.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the Hulk again.
Didn't Tarantino sell his True Romance in order to fund Reservoir Dogs
and Natural Born Killers? He sold
right, sold those scripts in order to finance. So,
but then he ended up getting more money because Lawrence Bender was in Harvey Keitel's wife's yoga class or some shit.
Something like that.
And just gave it to him. He's like, this movie's already being made, but if you were in it, then it could get made better. And he read it and loved it.
Right.
Yeah, so that will, unless you happen
that
to get
never happens
that
anymore.
never happens. The odds of that happening are...
Gotcha.
I can't even get, I got a director, I have a connection, a faith-based film director.
Right.
Okay, who's apparently a crook, so she doesn't want to get in touch with me. She doesn't want him to get in touch with me because he's a crook. She's afraid he's going to take the script and not pay me, which is pretty impossible to do. This is where we are. And so then her brother-in-law is a writer of faith-based films. And he won't read it. I'm like, wow, how hard is it for writers to get in? And they said, guess what? You have to make the movie. Mm-hmm. So I have to take this faith-based film that I've got, my one person who has to work to feed his 5 children, and I have to go find $4 million of funds hanging in a fucking cloud somewhere.
Call Chick-fil-A. I hear they've got some money.
Sam Raimi said when he made The Evil Dead, you got to find that dentist who has all that money he needs to get rid of before he does his taxes.
My dad's a fucking dentist.
Right. Everyone,
that fucking road is closed, nigga. Shit, it's closed. God almighty.
Yeah.
Let me find his dentist friend.
There you go.
And then have my dad go, my son is an idiot. Don't give him any money.
So what happens to the small unknown writer in all this?
Nope.
If you come up with a story, like Lee has a script about that Garrick kind of touched on a little bit about this meth monster. What do you do with it? Because it could be a fucking gold mine.
you line your birdcage with it.
That's exactly right.
Or do you turn it into a book? Do you try and format it into a book?
There's a movie with Bruce Willis, The Replacement, The Replicas. It was 10 years ago.
Yes, I remember that movie.
Jonathan Mostow, guy did T3, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it made, and he's an established Hollywood director.
Right.
Goes and hires a comic book artist, turns it into a comic book, publishes it, then goes back to the same studios and says, it's based on a comic book, which it technically is. Because he had a few thousand copies.
Oh, it's perfect. We love it.
Fucking got made. Now, nobody remembers it, but he still got to make his movie.
Right.
So, maybe that is the doing it in a different medium. Maybe that is a way in. I don't know.
That's the only way I can think of.
They're not even, nobody's even watching the trailer thing anymore. To go out and spend freaking $25,000 to shoot 4 scenes of your movie is a waste of time.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a waste of time. You have to make the movie. Remember Clint Hummel? He self-published his Game of Thrones called Arminius. This book is ridiculous. And he's like, I've sold a few units. But that's how he felt like that was the only way to even remotely try to get the script made. I think it's crazy, man. Like I don't know. I think that
I can't think of the names, but I know that there's been movies where, or maybe there hasn't. Maybe I'm just coming up with an original idea, but I doubt it. Where some writers go and like kidnap a big star, and they're like, "Hey, look, read our fucking script and make this movie," and eventually, it gets made. Is that what is going to start? Is that how you do it now?
I don't know.
Is that going to end up being the blueprint? Is that how you do it? We got to go to Tarantino's house and fucking hog time and drag them out.
Yeah,
keep them in a basement.
Basically, you got to win. I mean, it was winning the lottery before, but now you got to win the lottery while being struck by lightning. Yeah, basically. I guess you can get your original, but like I said, you got to get it to Tarantino. You got to whatever. Yeah. And the odds of that is,
And there's just so much shit being made. That's what irritates the fuck out of me about this.
Right.
It's like we are so lacking in original ideas and originality in movies these days. Yeah. And now you've just taken one of your resources and flushed it right down the fucking toilet.
Surrogates is this.
Surrogates.
Surrogates.
I remember that. Okay.
But you asked me how I find these weird movies, and like Doug said, there's just nothing. I mean, it's all just like it's mashed potatoes, and there's nothing. Like I have to see. I'll spend a couple minutes going to like genre movie websites just to find a trailer like when we talked about a month ago. Why Won't You Die?
Yeah,
because there's a coolness to it. Yeah, that you just don't get with mainstream movies.
It's original.
Yeah, it's original.
The originality,
or the original is in the execution.
Right.
I mean, whatever. There's something original about it.
Right.
And I got to see weird shit, man.
Yes, I do too.
I can't sit around and just watch. Like the amount of people that watch, as long as The Big Bang Theory was on, the amount of people who watched it, I just can't comprehend it. Because I'm not saying it's just not for me. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just 100% not for me.
Right.
40 scripts. This is 2018.
Yeah.
40 spec scripts were optioned. 0 made.
Yeah.
And
that's with the blacklist.
What's funny? What's funny is, shit. And when I was in film school, there was only the movie theater, and you'd watch the movie.
Yep.
Now you've got, we were talking about Netflix, Prime, Paramount. Everybody's got their. So there's this huge need for all this extra stuff,
right?
And they're not taking it.
And it's all just remakes of. It's all
garbage.
It's all just they're gonna do fucking Dark Shadows again or whatever.
Yeah,
why? Intellectual property. Like I said, because it's safe. It has a built-in audience.
Yeah, see, that sucks, man, because it just shows that these studios don't trust these directors.
No, well, I mean...
Or they don't trust the story, or they don't trust the public.
Well, it's a creative...
But you gotta have faith in it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, some of the best movies, some of the ones that you mentioned, like Lethal Weapon,
yeah,
that are based on stories like this, I mean, can you imagine a life without that? Like, and how fucking awesome...
I fucking love Lethal Weapon, dude. I love every Shane Black movie...
With the exception of Predators.
Which I didn't see. Because I don't want to...
You don't want to
sell
it.
my time with it.
Well, you don't want to see it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just...
Yeah.
If it's...
but the original is...
Yeah, the original is great.
Perfect, yeah.
But, like, I rewatched The Nice Guys a couple weeks ago.
It's fucking awesome.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
So I guess we're just going to get less and less.
We're going to get less of those, yeah. He'll have to make 5 big budget movies to make one. As he used to get 1 for 1, now he'll get 1 for 3 or 5.
Yeah, somebody, people out there trying to write... What the fuck's the point?
Yeah, why? Yeah, what
you have a brilliant idea, and it's like,
because you got to do it. You got to do it. Same reason we do this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just got to. You got to do something.
I just revised my script for the 6th time and last time, and now I'm looking at $1,000 in bogus contests.
Yeah.
Money entries. Let me enter it.
And now
I have to get somebody it has to win something.
Yeah.
And I have to get somebody to look at it.
And now there's a thing called the blacklist every year, which is the best unproduced scripts. And like 3 or 4 years ago, you would like the top 2 would get made. Mm-hmm. Like, but a couple years ago, it was a sort of R-rated Jim Henson biopic, which had a lot to do with his acid stuff and his sort of psychedelics led to him creating the Muppets. Well, of course, Disney buys that because they own the Muppets.
Yeah.
And then they just put it in the
It's
shelf.
never gonna be
It'll never
made.
get made. And it won, that guy, you know, he was, and that year considered the best unproduced script in Hollywood. You know. Yes.
Fucking hate. I'm really starting to fucking hate Disney.
Yeah.
Man. Like, these motherfuckers are ruining cinema.
Yeah.
And I don't think they give a shit.
And you know what? Walt would be rolling in his grave. He would never have the direction going this way.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
I don't think. I might be wrong. I don't think he'd ever pick up any of that stuff. I just think he would.
Walt actually did not like comic books. He thought they were, it wasn't his thing.
Which is odd, because you would think a guy like that would appreciate.
But he was just into animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even think the live action stuff wasn't necessarily his. I think that was just because it takes so long to make a cartoon. Whereas you can knock out, one of those Kurt Russell teen movies where he was, the computer who wore tennis shoes.
Yeah.
In 6 weeks or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And basically just a way to pay for the theme parks, basically. Yeah.
Running everything.
Yeah, he's in his cryogenic chamber right next to his Nazi memorabilia in the vault, just spinning.
It's just mad.
Well, we're getting to the end of the old spaghetti westerns, and we're going to do something a little bit different next week. We're going to do director versus director, and we're going to do Nicholas Winding Refn.
Winding Refn.
Winding Refn. And say that again. Why can't I say his name?
I don't know, because you're a fucking idiot.
Because you ate paint chips when you were a kid? I don't know.
That is beside the point.
Nicholas Winding Refn.
Nicholas Winding Refn. I love him. I love his movies.
Yeah.
But he's going to face off against David Lynch movies. That'll be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
No?
Look, you said there's 600 fucking spaghetti westerns that have been made, right? We all agree these are pretty fucking badass movies.
Agreed.
I love them.
I think let's extend this one more week. I'm just not
Gonna do
done.
another week?
I'm not done with them. Are you? I mean, are you
I'll do
cool with
that.
that?
Dude, you're gonna twist my arm to watch a spaghetti western.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like we just kind of barely got our feet wet in this, and I just think that there's a lot more to be seen.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'll get to this director versus director bullshit.
Well, once again, speaking of Prime, I did see that My Name Is Nobody with Henry Fonda and Terrence Hill was streaming on Prime.
Nice.
So we can all watch that.
Okay.
I had to share, a lot of times I have to bring in
Never
Blu-rays and
mind.
DVDs.
Garrick's opinion means nothing. We're going to do another week of spaghetti.
We will
westerns.
get to.
Oh, it's fine.
In our defense, it has been a year, in your opinion, this meant nothing, so I don't really know why you're surprised.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
We're almost at a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You aren't. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But Lee and I are.
What, I missed 2 fucking
I
episodes?
think.
Ah,
What is it coming up? It's coming up September, right?
No, into August.
And so 3 weeks we
Yeah.
will have to do a year-end special.
Yeah, or was it the 1st of September? I can't remember.
I'll tell you what, for our year special, we will go and we will review every film of the last 50 that we've done. So we'll review it again. What do you think, no?
sure.
Just rapid fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got like 3 fucking notebooks full. I'll just go back and memorize
God,
the
could
whole
you
thing.
imagine? Oh, golly. Or one sentence about each movie we
Yeah.
watched. Oh, my God, we'd be here for 3 hours.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
All right, so let's do fine, let's do another week.
Let's extend the
Yep.
Western week one more time, and it won't all be spaghetti, but
No.
there's gonna be a lot of pasta on the plate.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And then we'll get to what were you saying before that you
Well,
wanted
that
to
gives
do
us
after?
a little bit more time to hone in which movies we're going to watch and how we're going to do it. Because that's
Okay.
going to be kind of complex.
We want to do a director versus director kind of a thing.
Yeah, where we're going to have to watch
Just-
two movies.
Just sort of change up the format a little bit. Every
Right.
few months, do one of these sort of director versus director type
Right.
things for a month.
So which movies, though? All right, so let's go ahead and...
And you said you wanted to do Refn and
David
Lynch.
Lynch.
So what? So we're talking about...
You're a big
Blue
Refn
Vel-
fan. Which one do you want to do?
Which two makes sense? Blue Velvet. If you were going to do Blue Velvet, which Refn movie makes sense? Wild at Heart has to be done. I mean, Lost Highway is an abstract...
Wild at Heart definitely.
Wild at Heart is my favorite.
It's not even close. It's,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'll be honest with you.
You're not a big Lynch fan.
I'm not the biggest David Lynch fan
Yeah,
out
see, we
there.
got to do Blue Velvet so I can shit on the town of Lumberton, North Carolina. Because and if you go there, it's just that bad now.
Yeah.
It's still
Oh,
the
I'm
murder
sure.
capital of North Carolina.
Yeah. So if we do Blue Velvet,
Right.
compared to a Refn film,
We got the Pusher trilogy,
yeah,
and
which is about drug dealers.
which is about drug dealers. So we do want to do Pusher
Bleeder
1?
is
Bleeder?
is another one that's
You wanna
basically about it's kind of like Pusher 2, really.
Right.
That
Let's
came
do
out
that.
before
Let's
Pusher.
do- let's do
Pusher
that.
and Bleeder.
Let's do Bleeder against Blue Velvet.
They're just so different, man.
But
You know, that's the thing. I'm trying to
Right.
get something that's kind of comparable, but
Right.
I don't know if I can really find it
Yeah.
in this.
Well, it would be Drive versus Wild at Heart, I think, because of the love story.
And the look.
okay, yeah, I'll go with
That makes sense
Yeah,
to
that
me.
makes
Yeah,
sense, yeah.
that's good.
Yeah,
Hey,
let's
look.
just say.
Wait,
Let's just,
wait, what? What did I? Wait,
It came through
Garrick
that
just-
moment.
Garrick just
we
got.
got to do Pusher 1.
Yes,
Let's do
for
Pusher 1 and
sure.
Blue Velvet.
Okay.
Okay, because I mean they're crime stories. They're similar enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll sit here all day arguing about it.
It's been a while
Yeah.
since I've seen Pusher. I'm excited.
Right.
So we got Pusher versus Blue Velvet,
Right.
Wild at Heart versus Drive.
There we go. That's a solid month right there.
Yep. Yep, that's a solid month.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So there, everybody out there that's listening, the 6 people listening, guys, you just got our next month and into our 1-year anniversary.
Speaking of Refn, have either one of you guys
Nah.
watched?
No,
Not-
no, watch it. Like I said, I'm terrible at watching television.
Too old to
shows.
die young.
Nah.
Come
Dude, I can't. I got. I had to watch.
I know 90 fucking westerns.
This show is ruining my viewing. Like, I can't. I've got a list. I still haven't seen Stranger Things. I haven't done any. I know, fine. I'm just saying, it's hard when you've got 6 hours a week to watch
all I'm
movies.
telling
And you've got to
you-
watch spaghetti westerns because you're a part of a podcast that's watching spaghetti
All I'm
westerns.
telling
When
you,
the fuck am I going to find
If
time to do
you're
this?
if you're a big Refn fan, which you claim to be,
Casting aspersions on
I
your
can't even
fanhood.
say his name.
this is a fact. But I'm telling you, if you like the way his movies look and feel, do yourself a favor. I mean, it's cut up into 13 or 10 episodes. I mean, you can watch one and then come back to it later.
I'll tell you what. I'll start watching it.
I'm just telling you, I think that you will fucking love it, and I think you would too.
Right.
A lot of it.
Right.
But there's going to be parts where you're gonna want to quit.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know there's going to be parts where his head is just solidly launched of his Danish ass.
Oh yeah. There's basically a whole episode where you're just like, oh my god.
There's like parts of on the God Forgives that are so cool, but then there'll be like 5 minutes where I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah,
You know.
and that's kind of
Yeah.
like we talked about. This is more
Right.
that than Drive,
Right.
For the most part.
I think it was a good episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Who wins in a shootout?
Lee Van Cleef or
Clint Eastwood.
Van Cleef?
Very clean. He's got the long range gun.
Yeah, it's not
think so?
close. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Look at those eyes, man.
Brad Pitt. Oh my
Those are
god.
hawk eyes, dude.
So I couldn't really. So to the 6 listeners, couldn't put up the 2 trailers. Didn't have a way to make a vote out of those 2 trailers. So I'm gonna try. I gotta figure something out. So I wasn't able to do that showdown, but I was able to do who, as an actor, would you want to play Leonardo or Brad Pitt? And Pitt blew him away. The Cliff Booth character. blew
He's the
him-
coolest.
He might be the coolest in any of
Yeah.
Tarantino's movies. This
Yeah.
single baddest ass character.
When he punches that hippie, it's Van Ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah, puts the knife in there. I can watch that all day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You gonna change this tire? He's just like, no way, man. It's like, all right.
Knock your fucking teeth out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go. So this week's showdown, real fast, is quick draw. Clint Eastwood, the man with no name, or Lee Van Cleef.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. One more week of Spaghetti Western. Until then, adios, partners.
Arrivederci.